President Trump signing sweeping executive orders to overhaul the higher education accreditation system to reward merit over ideological overreach. How did we get here in the first place? Let's look under the hood and see how our schools have gone insane. That takes me to today's big three. First, one of the big role players in our higher education system is the accreditation system. President Trump's executive order today reads, accreditors, who are the gatekeepers that decide which colleges and universities can access over $100 billion in annual federal student loans and Pell Grants, have routinely approved low-quality institutions, ultimately failing students, families, and American taxpayers. Accreditors have also abused the authority, imposing discriminatory, diversity, equity, and inclusion-based standards, violating federal law. It's not just in higher education. Anyone who's had a kid in school understands the role that accreditors play in ensuring schools implement much of this DEI and other stuff we've been trying to cut out of American education. But there's another malevolent role in American education, and that's the role of foreign influence, foreign money. Look at some of the money that's been given to universities and colleges in America over the last several years. $60 billion has been funneled over decades to American universities. $20 billion alone from elite schools like Harvard and Yale. And then $795 million from adversaries like China, Russia, and Venezuela, Yemen. But in 2024, that exploded. China gave $175 billion to U.S. schools. And of course, the outcome is that schools have become a breeding ground for far-left divisive ideologies that ultimately became the protests you have seen all over this country. It's not just what you see on your screen. It's not just that insanity, though. It's the role of accreditation and influence throughout our education system starting at a much younger age. Let's dive into this now with the fellas from the Ruthless Variety program. Joining me now is Comfortably Smug, John Ashbrook, and Michael Duncan. What's up, guys?
Hey, good to be here, Will. Thanks for having us.
You bet. President Trump looking into these schools. Obviously, we all focus on the Ivy League institutions. But what you can see when he looks at the accreditation system or the foreign funding of so many of these schools, we got a real problem in what's pushing us in a certain direction.
You know what, Will? I'll say it's about time. There are 5,000 universities and colleges around this country. They're not all winners. And when you're importing thousands of students from foreign countries who organize and do things like block Jewish kids from walking down the sidewalk and getting to class, there's a reason why people are thinking maybe they don't deserve tax dollars to the level that they've received them in the past. And so there are plenty of organizations, plenty of colleges, plenty of universities in this country who are deserving of accreditation, deserving of those tax dollars. But if you're going to play politics day in and day out, it should be looked at.
It makes me nervous, Duncan and Smug, as well, how much foreign countries have an influence over our institutions. It should be pointed out. It's not just colleges. They have a great amount of influence through their giving to our politicians as well. The amount of money coming from people who do not have our best interests at heart is playing a massive role in America.
Yeah, well, I mean, that figure that you gave right there for China, $175 billion in 2024. And we all know that China is extremely focused on making sure that they have a highly educated population domestically. Do they really want Americans to be educated, or is this the most blatant attempt of them to try to push division and hobble America by going right after American children?
Yeah, it's
insidious.
It's not like China cares about a kid from Peoria getting an engineering degree. You know, that's not what they're investing in America's higher education system for. So what are they getting for it? And that's what I love about this, Will, is we're finally getting some accountability in the system. Donald Trump is going to do to higher education what Doge has done to the federal government. We're going to get inside there and see the books and see why it is places like China are investing billions of dollars in American education.
I'm simultaneously impressed and jealous of the way you guys have settled into the Will Cain Show with your hats and your sunglasses and your casual appearance. And I'm sitting over here in this tie, and it doesn't really fit that I'm the formal one. I don't like this. Soon, I will be adopting your casual nature. Guys, throughout today's program, we've been laying out how the Kilmer-Abrego-Garcia case has exploded in the face of Democrats and the media, day by day, drip by drip, a slow-motion train wreck, including what I just shared with the audience. There's even questions about the original framing, Maryland father, with did he have custody of these kids? Is he the father of these kids? There are perhaps more kids involved in the story, but allegations of being a gang member all the way back to custody cases.
Yeah, it's just another example of Democrats going overboard, pushing a message that is absolutely not true. They make it sound like the guys walking around in an Orioles jersey are going to eat crabs at Cantler's. And it's just not the case. You know, like, this is a guy who was adjudicated to be deported. J.D. Vance made this point. I don't know if you guys saw this.
Yeah,
J.D. Vance made this point. It's a very, very good point. The Democrats act like there's been no process whatsoever. And so the idea that there hasn't been due process is erroneous.
What are the hats we got on today? Are those Orioles hats? They're not. There's not orange. Duncan's is red,
Capitals.
I think.
Yeah. No, this is
Capitals.
Valhalla Golf Course in Louisville, Kentucky.
Of course. Well, how
No, the
fancy,
Caps are a
Ashbrook.
wagon. They're gonna win the Stanley Cup. Yeah.
You got a country club on your shirt too, Ashbrook? Are you double lettering here today? See, you come in casual and I expose you as an elitist. Always good to see you guys. Michael Duncan, Comfortably Smug, and John Ashbrook. Check out the Ruthless Variety program anytime. Thank you, fellas. Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.